Welcome to Module 1, Adult Education Principles. Learning is a continuous process that starts before birth and continues throughout our lives. It is an active, never-ending path that includes acquiring knowledge, abilities, and experiences. The method emphasizes the value of learning at all stages of life and goes well beyond typical classroom settings and formal schooling. In the past, educational institutions have primarily focused on meeting the requirements of children and adolescents, giving their development a lot of resources and consideration. Adults' educational needs, especially those of older adults, have been partly overshadowed by it. But as our understanding of education advances, it becomes increasingly clear that learning is not limited to a particular age range. To grow personally, advance professionally, and remain adaptable in a constantly changing world, lifelong learning is crucial. It allows people to learn new skills, stay current on industry advancements, and maintain their competitive edge in their chosen areas. Essentially, it is an admission that learning is a lifetime endeavor and a commitment to self-improvement. Adults seek education in today's changing world to fulfill shifting demands. Adults understand the importance of lifelong learning even after they have finished their official schooling. It is crucial to comprehend the distinct learning styles of different age groups, especially older people. Changes in society have made individuals actively seek out continuing education. Our world's dynamics are constantly changing, making improving our knowledge and skills necessary. This applies to adults of all ages and is not restricted to any age range. The path doesn't end for individuals who have already finished their official schooling. Encouraging lifelong learning is essential. It's learning new abilities, refreshing prior knowledge, and keeping up with developments across various industries. Adults who make this commitment to education are guaranteed to be competitive and relevant in a labor market that is constantly evolving. Understanding how different age groups, especially older people, approach learning is one of the main issues. Individual differences in life experiences and generational influences result in considerable differences in learning styles, preferences, and demands. Effective and inclusive education requires that pedagogical approaches be customized to meet the needs of these varied populations. The special needs and traits of adult learners, especially older adults who bring their distinct viewpoints, responsibilities, and learning psychology to the educational process, must be acknowledged in adult education and learning. Adult learners differ from typical students because they have different demands motivated by real-world objectives like personal growth or job progress. The educational journey of older adults is typically shaped by their different life experiences, employment commitments, and family duties. Therefore, a flexible and customized approach is sometimes necessary to meet their needs. Moreover, the psychological makeup of mature adult learners varies from that of younger people. Thus, it's essential to recognize their distinct learning styles and modify teaching methods accordingly to guarantee a productive learning environment. Acknowledging and resolving these unique elements is critical to promoting inclusive and prosperous adult education, particularly for older individuals. With a focus on the professional sphere, the principles of adult learning, refined through significant research and educational studies, are crucial guides for success in various life domains. These guidelines offer a framework for efficient skill development while acknowledging adult learners' distinct traits and learning objectives. They are essential in assisting people in developing their talents and achieving professional success in an ever-changing job market. These ideas are also very helpful for adjusting to life's many stages and changes, such as changing careers, taking on new duties, or setting personal development objectives. They give people the skills and knowledge they need to prosper in a changing and dynamic environment. The fundamentals of adult learning provide a path to success and flexibility in a constantly evolving life, making them indispensable for professional and personal development. Educational activities are essential to maintain the effectiveness and significance of the aging process. Ongoing education benefits older people because it keeps them mentally engaged, helps them grow personally, and gives them a sense of achievement. Beyond personal benefits, older persons who participate in education benefit society. They assist in transmitting knowledge between generations and preserving culture by bringing their extensive expertise and experience to the community. Furthermore, an informed and active senior population can make significant contributions to a range of social and commercial initiatives, enhancing the general well-being of society. Essentially, the interplay between individual growth and social advancement highlights the continued significance of education at every stage of life, highlighting its reciprocal advantages for both people and the larger community. The educational initiative's target group consists of people whose access to learning opportunities has been hampered by various obstacles. It encompasses individuals without education due to unfavorable social, economic, or geographic circumstances. These people frequently reside in underprivileged neighborhoods or isolated locations with few or unreachable educational resources. The education should assist people with disabilities, both mental and physical, who might face obstacles in their pursuit of an education. These students should have fair access to instruction customized to meet their requirements and enable them to pursue their academic and personal development fully. Additionally, a significant portion of the target demographic comprises illiterate people. Illiteracy might be one of the most significant barriers to social inclusion and personal growth. It is critical to offer these people the specialized assistance and materials required to equip them with the foundational knowledge and abilities to read, write, and participate in educational activities. The targeted group comprises a wide variety of people dealing with different issues in urban and rural environments. It encompasses impoverished people living in both rural and urban regions, who frequently have restricted access to educational opportunities because of resource limitations and economic inequality. Unskilled and semi-skilled workers who want to improve their skills and employability make up another segment. These people are an essential component of the target group since they need educational assistance to close the achievement gap and receive access to chances for both career and personal growth. Lifelong learning is essential for older persons actively seeking educational opportunities to improve their knowledge and abilities. It not only encourages constant personal development, but it also provides students with the adaptability required in an ever-changing world. Older adults strongly desire to better themselves and progress personally. Beyond merely picking up new information, lifelong education encourages active aging, giving seniors a proactive outlook on life and motivating them to be vibrant and alive as they age. Another critical component of lifelong learning is mental stimulation. It keeps cognitive abilities flexible and sharp, enabling older persons to prevent cognitive decline and preserve their mental health. Furthermore, lifelong learning encourages social engagement, allowing seniors to meet others who share their interests, form new connections, and fight social isolation, all leading to a longer, more satisfying life. Essentially, lifelong learning is a comprehensive strategy for aging that enhances older persons' later years by promoting their social interaction, mental flexibility, and active involvement. The set of principles that facilitate adult learning consists of 6 essential components. These can be listed as follows: need to know, experiences, self-concept, readiness to learn, orientation, motivation. Each of these principles includes specific strategies that facilitate adult learning. The need-to-know principle refers to adults' desire to know why they should participate in a learning activity. The primary reason for wanting to know why to join an activity is time. In the life cycle of adults, they take on specific roles with advancing age. Some responsibilities, practices, and tasks need to be done. These tasks are carried out in particular periods. Since this time is allocated to jobs, adults may not have enough time. In this sense, participating in training means a separate effort and time. At this point, the issue of why the adult should participate in this training comes to the fore. If the adult is going to devote their time to a learning activity, they may sometimes need to be convinced before participating. Adults need to know why they should learn before starting to learn something. Adults put a significant effort into researching the benefits of learning and the negative consequences of not learning before beginning the learning on their own. This is called the need to know in andragogy. Experiences in learning environments have very different meanings for adults. Adults have different and numerous experiences over time, and these experiences increase their differences. At the same time, adults who have accumulated experiences refer to their own experiences to make their new learning permanent or meaningful. This is a chain process. In particular, experiences related to learning and experiences related to the subject learned are essential in facilitating subsequent learning or creating learning barrier. The amount of experience and its value is even more significant in older adults, who want to share their experiences. If these experiences are not given importance, they feel they are ignored and become passive in the environment and then move away from it. However, it should not be forgotten that adults acquire certain mental habits through experience. If these habits enable us to continue our lives in some way, we may tend to continue our lives without the need to acquire new ones. This manages to close our minds to new ideas, perceptions, and different ways of thinking. Older adults tend to live the same way for a long time, so they are expected to be closed to new ideas. This can make it challenging to communicate with different generations, especially with young people. One of the essential components of adult learning is the principle of self-perception. According to this principle, adults' thoughts about themselves are self-concepts. Adults take responsibility for their own decisions and lives according to these self-concepts. Older adults have a deep psychological need to be seen and treated by others as someone capable of directing them. They become angry when they feel others are imposing their wishes on them. They may try to leave their learning environment. When they participate in an activity that reminds them of the period when they depended on a teacher, such as education, they return to their identity. They may start to behave like a dependent personality. Readiness to learn is a developmental task that emerges with the transition from one developmental period to the next, and readiness to learn and the decision to participate in activities are successive processes. On the one hand, it means that the person who feels ready to learn researches this and tries to find the appropriate activity for themselves. Readiness to learn is also an indicator of being a complete adult. As an adult, self-managed, self-controlled person who knows according to their own needs, readiness to learn is a situation that emerges entirely in the context of one's dynamics. Adults are ready to learn what they need to know and what they believe will solve their real-life problems. Older adults are prepared to learn when the content aligns with their perceived needs and addresses real-life challenges. Their motivation for learning is driven by a practical, problem-solving approach, seeking knowledge that directly applies to their immediate circumstances. In readiness to learn, situations that people see as problems are an essential driving force. Based on this information, research on what older adults perceive as a problem in this regard can be a good starting point for an activity focused on combating ageism. Activities that emphasize elderly discrimination and include solutions to situations seen as problems by older adults will be among the activities that older adults will be ready to participate in. The principle, called learning orientation, expresses adults' activities. In this sense, the issues that older adults tend to learn about involve situations in their lives. When adults try to learn something, it is a problem, life, or task-oriented. They tend to know when they foresee that they will help someone in these situations. They realize permanent learning to the extent that they can apply what they have learned to their real lives. In the previous section, it is seen that there is a close relationship between the principle of readiness to learn and the principle of orientation to learning. The distinctive point here is that adults want to use the knowledge or skills they will acquire from their learning in their lives immediately. Motivation to learn can be found naturally in anyone. Everyone would like to learn, but knowing what, when, and where to learn is hard. However, in adult education, educators need to know these constituents. Studies on motivation to learn show that two types of motivation are the source of learning. There is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivations are some rewards that the institution, organization, employer, or other people state that people will gain if the goals are achieved to direct the person to learn. People learn to earn these rewards, such as higher salaries or promotions. However, since older adults are usually in a period when they are out of these situations, the aforementioned motivational tools do not severely affect their learning. Older adults participate in learning activities based on situations such as being satisfied, being respected, having fun, and feeling that they make good use of their time, which are seen as intrinsic motivators. In this context, it is essential to emphasize intrinsic motivators in learning activities with older adults. Older people possess a wealth of life experiences, and these experiences are a great asset for their ongoing education. They may effectively reflect on and use their collected life experiences in new and different learning situations using experiential learning. The approach enhances students' learning, and their acquired wisdom is channeled toward making their educational experiences more meaningful and applicable to real-world scenarios. Experiential learning enables senior citizens to use their vast life experiences. It motivates children to consider past difficulties, achievements, and lessons discovered and to use this helpful information in their upcoming educational pursuits. By doing this, senior students can close the knowledge gap between theory and practice, enhancing their educational experiences beyond the classroom and into real-world applications. This strategy emphasizes the importance of experience learning as a potent instrument for senior citizens pursuing lifelong learning. It is crucial to design learning environments that genuinely appreciate and value the experiences of senior citizens. Older adults possess an abundance of life experiences that are immensely valuable and wise. They can effectively reflect on and adapt their experiences to new educational environments by engaging in experiential learning. The idea of experiential learning motivates senior students to use their wealth of life experiences. It allows older adults to consider their struggles, successes, and lessons learned. The gap between theory and practical application can be closed by older people applying their practical knowledge to different learning contexts. This method enhances their educational experiences and makes clear how deeply applicable their knowledge is to modern classrooms. In summary, utilizing older people's abundance of knowledge to create inclusive, courteous, and experience-honoring learning environments is a potent strategy to make lifelong learning a meaningful and transforming process. Older adults' talents and efforts must be acknowledged, especially in education and learning. By doing this, a warm and accepting learning environment should be created, significantly contributing to fostering a strong sense of self-worth and confidence in students. Acknowledging the distinct abilities, aptitudes, and perspectives that every person contributes to the learning environment affirms their value and fosters a stronger feeling of direction and inclusion. Acknowledgement cultivates an atmosphere of deference and gratitude, empowering students to participate more fully and actively in their learning process. Establishing a warm and accepting learning environment ensures everyone feels appreciated and accepted. This feeling of acceptance enhances one's sense of confidence and self-worth. Older adults in an atmosphere that values and celebrates their contributions and abilities are more likely to flourish and realize their full potential. Understanding older persons' needs and concerns is crucial for adult education. This calls for a thorough analysis of the difficulties and goals unique to this age range. Furthermore, the supply of learning activities that are both relevant and useful is the key to practical education for older persons. The daily challenges that older people face, from financial and health concerns to social interaction and personal growth, should be explicitly addressed by these activities. We provide a learning experience that is relevant and highly applicable to the everyday lives of older individuals, ensuring their continuing growth and well-being. We customize educational offerings to address their particular requirements and concerns. 3 vital areas of adult education need attention: community involvement and social connections, mental and cognitive stimulation, personal development, self-worth, and confidence. First and foremost, mental health and cognitive stimulation are essential elements of lifelong learning. Participating in educational activities can preserve their mental acuity and general cognitive wellness. It gives older folks a platform for ongoing mental training, which is necessary to keep their minds active and sharp. Second, it is impossible to overestimate the importance of intergenerational relationships, community involvement, and social ties. Building and fostering these ties is frequently facilitated by education. It develops ties that last a lifetime, promotes social engagement, and involves the community. These relationships enable mental and emotional health and a sense of belonging. The last benefits of adult education include personal development, self-worth, and self-assurance, which significantly influence a person's general well-being. People grow personally when they learn new things, increasing their confidence and self-worth. Their increased confidence enables them to actively pursue their objectives and take on new difficulties. Developing age-appropriate teaching materials and instructional strategies is crucial in adult education for older persons. It means adjusting instructional methods and materials to this age group's unique cognitive and emotional requirements. These age-appropriate resources and teaching strategies guarantee that learning is thriving and exciting for senior citizens. It's also crucial to provide learning spaces and resources that are accessible. Access to educational resources and environments should be simple and convenient for older adults. This entails creating comfortable and mobile-friendly physical settings and ensuring digital resources are easily accessible and user-friendly. These actions encourage older learners to continue their education by making learning more approachable and welcoming. Proficiency in adult learning principles is crucial in designing inclusive and empowering learning experiences for older adults. These guidelines take into account the fact that older students have distinct demands and preferences from younger ones. We can guarantee that senior citizens have access to worthwhile and exciting learning opportunities by comprehending these ideas and modifying instructional strategies to fit these particular needs. This enhances their general happiness and well-being by allowing them to pursue lifelong learning and enrichment. Seniors need to actively pursue lifelong learning if they are to enjoy satisfying lives. The secret to personal development and fulfillment in older life is a dedication to lifelong study. Senior citizens can maintain intellectual curiosity, adjust to novel situations, and derive significance from their day-to-day experiences. Congratulations! You completed Module 6. Check the assessment and additional materials.